Welcome in everyone, how you guys doing? If you guys inside it, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Really trying to get to 30k as soon as possible so we could continue and move up to 50. We're trying to grow this channel and that's only possible with your help. So thank you for tuning in, I appreciate it. And we're going to get straight into this reaction. Y'all know how I feel about Josh Johnson. Yeah, that's one of my new favorite comedians. And I've had about 2 people, not many, but I will say 2 people actually requested for me to do this reaction that just came out. I saw them today, so for you two, thank you. We getting through this. We got our boy Josh Johnson here. Some of Trump's wildest executive orders explained. I haven't been keeping up to date with the whole elections and everything happening in the States. I've seen a bit on the news, etc., but you know, let's see what's happening here. Let me hear my boy Josh explain things.
Ladies and
welcome
gentlemen,
in, everybody.
Please make some noise for Josh Johnson!
Yeah. Stand up, my boy.
Because it genuinely has been an insane week, you know? Yeah. No, I know. No, it's that part.
That part. You seem
I'm not gonna talk about it
this.
forever, but
It's
yeah.
problems. Let's go.
Oh, it's what you came for? Okay, good. Yeah,
I won't talk about that.
glad you
too much, but like, that's what we
didn't
here
want
for.
to hear about my life. No, okay. You know, Trump took office and he immediately signed a wild amount of executive orders. They've been one-upping each other every presidency for a little while. Like, I'm pretty sure Barack Obama signed more than Bush, and then Trump signed more than Obama, and then Biden signed more than Trump. But this was like astronomical. This was a whole lot, because basically Trump went ahead and signed executive orders that rolled back a lot of what Biden did, plus his own. All right. And he did some sweeping stuff. Like, he signed an executive order that began the steps for the U.S. to leave the World Health Organization. I did not do it. But what feels kind of wild to me about the executive orders that Trump is passing, and a lot of the things that we're going to see for the next few months into the rest of his presidency, is basically just a blueprint of everything that Project 2025 said that they were going to do. It's a project that he said he knew nothing about and had nothing to do with, but now that he's in office, they seem hella tight. It's kind of like when you tell the police you don't know somebody, and then the police are like, but here's a picture of you two right here. And the picture hella incriminating, because it's not you just happening to be in the picture with them, it's you being like, hey.
Yeah, but he's known for that, though. I mean, from what I know, Trump will blatantly tell you he don't know something, he don't know somebody, you know what I mean? And then here comes the receipts when he was either talking about it, or here's a picture with him and the person. I swear there's something out the other day where he is saying he doesn't know Samuel L. Jackson, but yet Samuel L. Jackson has played golf with him and met him a number of times. You know, just an example.
You say that you're not boys, but in this picture here, you're holding a different picture of the two of you together. You're like...
Exactly.
And sure enough, yeah, Trump signed an executive order that would start the process of the U.S. leaving the World Health Organization. And I feel like there are some things that Trump is doing because they're his idea, and some things that he's doing because his aides and the people that wrote up Project 2025 are pushing him to do it for whatever their own reasons are, right? Like, I feel like they went to Trump and they were like, we need you to pull out of the World Health Organization. Then Trump was like, who?
Who are they? No way.
And they were like, yes. And he was like, yes, what?
Yes, what? Who of the World Health Organization?
And they were like, who? And he's like, who? And they were like, that's what we're saying. Who's who? And then he was like, I'll do what you want me to do, but I just need to know who it is. And it's like, who it is? That's who we want you to do it to. We have to pull out of who? Pull out? Who? Where? Yes, because we believe that who is dangerous. Who is dangerous? Yes, who is dangerous?
He's still on the who, not realizing it's an acronym.
Where is who? Well, sir, who's all over the world? Who is dangerous all over the world? Yes, that's why we have to pull out of who. I'm not in who, by the way. I'm just standing here.
Got him thinking of a whole different meaning to the word who.
We're just gonna put it on a piece of paper and we need you to sign it. All right.
Okay, World, capital W, Health, capital A.
And this is my main thing
picks up.
when it comes to pulling out of the World Health Organization is that a lot of people take for granted things that are functioning in their life. Things are either good, you expect to be good, and things that are working, you're just like, yeah, it works because it's supposed to work, right? But sometimes we don't ask enough questions on how a working thing got to the way it was. And there hasn't been enough time in between when it didn't work and now for us to remember when it didn't work. Because if we lose access to the World Health Organization, it hurts the World Health Organization by a lot, but it also hurts us because then we lose access to their labs, to their data. Most of what happens and the way that cures and vaccines come about quickly is because all these countries are able to share information, which all sort of help us leapfrog over the last breakthrough that another country had. And because it's not a race, it's just shared information. It's just a group project. And our pharmaceutical companies, by the way, also need the World Health Organization to just stay on top of things, right? And I'm no fan of pharmaceutical companies. I'm just saying I'm a fan of people who are sick getting help, right? And so my thing is, if you pull out of the World Health Organization, as good as the doctors that we have in the U.S. are, or at least can be, it won't be long before we're all just sort of WebMD. You know, it won't be long before a new thing, take something like COVID, right? No matter what you believe about the origins of COVID, you understand that something started up in China. And then because of the World Health Organization, everyone was able to talk about it, do testing. They were able to share findings. We were able to get to a vaccine pretty quickly, right? So now, let's say something comes out of another country. And we may know it's coming out of the other country from the news, but we don't actually know any breakthroughs because we're not sharing that data. And everyone has to start all over again every time they try to have a breakthrough. So now you'll just be a regular person walking up to other people like, hey.
Nah, fam.
I'm just asking, just in general, just because I'm curious, but is anybody else like farting blue? No, me neither. No. That's crazy. I don't even know why I said that. That's just like crazy, but like it can happen. You know, I've been hearing on the news that it can happen, and there's people whose whole bathrooms look like a Smurf died. Like it's just stuff can happen. You know,
Smurf
just
died.
Curious.
Yo, leave Papa Smurf
and
alone.
then maybe someone does get sick, and then that sickness starts to spread. And maybe it's not something that we're used to. It's a completely new thing. So now you have somebody being like, hey, is anybody else that was like not born double jointed, been acting double jointed, like just everything can go in every which way? Because double joint people, they seem to not hurt when they do it, but I'm in a lot of pain. So if anyone has any ideas on what to do, I've been eating as much as I can to lower inflammation, but I'm still got my head spinning all the way around when I fall asleep. And then you won't be able to distinguish certain things because there are things that are not related that we know through science are like not related even though they're similar, right? You'll be able to know if you have a new thing or if you have a regular version of an old thing. Just walking up to somebody like, hey, look, I'm not trying to get the word out like that. I'm just curious if you've ever heard of this. Do you sleepwalk? Oh, you sleepwalk too? Oh, great. Do you ever sleepwalk and just wake up with a knife every night? Like, does that just me? Okay. We'll have to look into it. This dude also
That was a serious medical
signed an
condition.
executive order, the one they promised to, delaying the TikTok ban. But while he was talking about it, after he signed it, he was basically saying like, oh yeah, you know, the U.S. should own some part of it, maybe 50%, maybe more, who knows. And it's hard to tell when Trump talks about what the government should do, if he means the government should own it or he should own it. Because I'm not gonna lie, this TikTok thing is the most mob boss thing I've ever seen. It's the most like, oh, you like your little thing, like, okay, maybe I own some of it. Maybe I own the whole thing. How about that? How about you get out of here? All right, it's mine now. One of the pettiest things that Trump did was he used an executive order to take back John Bolton's security detail. Now, I don't like John Bolton. I'm not like crying for John Bolton or anything. And if you know John Bolton, you'll know who I'm talking about. He looked like a Scooby-Doo villain. Like when John Bolton got the mustache of somebody
who's John Bolton? Y'all let me know down in the comments section. I don't know who he is. Is it a political figure? It sounds like a artist kind of a name. But then Bolton. Kenny Bolton. Yeah, John Bolton. Yeah, let me know who that is.
Was retired from tying women to train tracks. All right. This dude one of my favorite John Bolton memories was one time he was on, I think it had to be Fox News, he was on, and for some reason, they must have been trying to kill time or something, they put John Bolton, now he was old back then, so this is old, but he was still old when this happened. They put this old man on a hoverboard. And it was as great as you could imagine. They literally try and explain to him what to do on the hoverboard while he's on the hoverboard, which is the worst time to tell somebody how to operate a hoverboard. Don't let them get on and then be like, okay, now subtly. And so then this man, not knowing what to do, sort of moves his hips a little bit, and he just starts spinning. And you can go back and watch the clip. This man is screaming, ah, ah! But Trump took back his security detail, and it was just to be petty. It's just because he doesn't like John Bolton, and John Bolton doesn't like him, right? But it's one of the pettiest things I've seen from a government official, because all he's really doing, all Trump is really saying is like, hey, look, now that I'm back, I just want to make sure if you have any ops at all, that they have as little resistance as possible. Him pulling John Bolton's Secret Service detail is like if I uncalled 911 for somebody. Like they called 911 and I called right after, be like, hey, that last dude, he was just playing. Don't come. It's not a big deal. Don't come at all. I know he's like, oh, he has a knife or whatever, but don't come. He was just trolling.
Petty.
Even the executive order he signed renaming the Gulf of Mexico into the Gulf of America. This is one thing that has to stop. It has to stop immediately.
No, tell me that joke. That gotta be a joke, right? That's not serious. There is no way he changed the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. Like, it's been called the Gulf of Mexico from the beginning of whenever. You can't just change names like that, bro. Like, I think the age is getting to him now. Is this comedy? Like, he is joking here. Y'all let me know in the comments. I'm going to want to go check this out. I'm going to check this out after this, when this is finished. Like, did he... Yo, what the fuck is going on in the States right now, man?
We cannot make it this hard on these kids. I remember when I was a kid. I remember when I was a child in school, and they told me that Pluto was not a planet, but it was, but it wasn't, but it was, but it wasn't, and it is, but it isn't. And I failed every test where they asked me what Pluto was. I was like, there was one time where it was a fill-in. You had to describe the plants, and you had to talk about what gases and everything the plant was made of, and why we couldn't live on that planet, why Earth was perfect to live on. And when we got to Pluto, I didn't know what to say anymore, because it had been a planet, and then it wasn't a planet, and then it had been a planet, and it even changed like astrological signs or something like that. And so I was like, you know what? It's up there. How about that? Changing the Gulf. And then you even had publications like The Guardian being like, we're still gonna call it the Gulf of Mexico, but we will call it Gulf of America for context in places where it seems fit, where the president is being quoted. I was like, it is or it isn't. No. Then you had Trump signing executive order. You had Trump pardoning everybody from January 6th. That's wild. You ever had somebody go to jail?
Yo, hold up, man. What the hell am I missing out on, bro? Y'all trying to tell me it takes me to come on here and watch the Josh Johnson comedy special to find out all this really is going on in the States. I really do try to stay away from the news and a lot of YouTube stuff because ever since I've started reacting to stuff, it's kind of limit a lot of stuff I see because I keep thinking I can react to it and then I end up not reacting to it and be like, sure, I should have watched it. But I have not been watching, except for the California wildfires, you know what I'm saying? Heart and prayers go out to everybody out there, you know what I mean? What other American news I was watching? I'm trying to think. The whole academics scandal going on, you know what I mean? To hell with him, bro. Nothing. Yeah, I've been staying away. So, man went and pardoned everybody from January 6th. Everybody. You played, right? But yo, hey, you know nothing surprises me no more. You know what I mean? Like, y'all voted for him, man. It is what it. Yeah. Oh shit. I'm done.
From your neighborhood, maybe this is just too specific to me, but you ever had somebody go to jail from your neighborhood and you're like, I'm not a snitch, but thank God. Oh. There was this dude named LaDon, right? And I can say his name because he never gonna get out. But there was a dude I knew named LaDon, and I remember when he got locked up, I was like, oh no, don't. Like, see what I mean? Because you wanna show that solidarity, but the police were taking him. I was like, oh, how dare you, 5-0. I can't stand 12. LaDon, no. Oh, but LaDon was wild. He's like a proper criminal. It's like you know, because then his boys were wearing like free LaDon shirts, and I was just like, Anytime I saw one of them, I was like, oh no, I hope this doesn't have the support that I think it does. There was even one of his friends that wrote to the local, I think it was council person or something, trying to get him to look into it. And I'm not gonna lie, I low-key did like a John Bolton, and I also wrote to the local council. I was like, hey, he was just playing. LaDon need to be in there. Don't pay any attention to what he's saying. Like, he just kind of wilding right now.
No, Josh.
You know what it is? LaDon owe him $20, and he want the 20 back. He doesn't want him free. He should not be free. LaDon a bad person. LaDon was a bona fide monster.
Josh said words.
So now imagine LaDon go to jail. The hood is free.
The hood.
I've never, you've seen like homecoming parties for people when they get out of jail. I've never seen a party for somebody who just got arrested. Like, the people who felt like we finally had liberation were having a whole cookout off of this dude's charges. And then his boys with the shirt came to the barbecue. I'm like, are you happy or not?
Make up your mind, bro.
But now imagine LaDon locked up. We can finally rest easy. And then the president of the United States is like, actually, nah, LaDon, well, he not innocent, but I don't care.
Yeah, literally.
And now he's coming home. That's got to be what it feels like for some of these people. There were plenty of people, don't get me wrong, there were plenty people that were up there, did January 6th. They felt like the election had been stolen. They were sure that they had proof. They wanted to hang the vice president. They came in there with all the smoke, ready for all the juice. And then they get to go home too. This has to have been a wild experience if you are a J6er, because you were there. Remember when they pooped on the desk? They let them leave that day. They pooped on the desk that day, and then they were like, get out of here. And they were like, you right. And then they left. And they were very willing to be on camera. There were people interviewing each other about what they were doing. It's like, hey, Patriot, what are you doing? Oh, I'm tearing up Nancy Pelosi's office right now in protest of the election being stolen. This is me, James Atwood. I just made up a name, but they were saying their full names. They were saying their full names. And there was one dude that I'm pretty sure was trolling because he was literally getting people to say their address, and that felt insane. Like, I've never had to say my address out loud to somebody I didn't know.
On camera.
And then police come. And they're like, hey, get out of here. And then people left. And you saw them leave. You saw them leave different parts of the rotunda, everything, with smirks on their faces. And then over the course of 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, started picking them up left and right. People started, hey, he was there. Oh, they're posting about it. It was on their social that they were there and what they did, right? Them pepper spraying, them throwing stuff at police, all that stuff. And then they start getting arrested. And they're like, what? But I thought, how could this be? How? And then they were sitting in jail. And then, before Trump left, they were like, surely he'll pardon us. And he was like, I'll see y'all in a bit. You know? Because there was a lot of like misunderstandings about who we could pardon and who we couldn't, and when people were charged and all this stuff like that. And then he becomes president again. This dude is now president again. And then he pardons them. And woof. Normally, I'm used to seeing a lot of people get out of jail through like innocence projects and stuff like that. People who did not do something. And then they're like, I never thought anyone would believe me. I thought I was going to sit in jail, and now I'm free. And they're nothing but grateful. Yeah. They get out, they're hugging their families, they're crying and stuff. And that has not been the case with the J6. Everybody that got let out is very angry. They're so angry, and a lot of them have already tweeted, I'm buying a gun. And it's like, why would you tell anybody that? You were already caught on camera doing the thing, and now you're like, and now that I'm out, I've got a gun. Okay, LaDon. Like, it's crazy too, because
I want to know, like, how were they able to get a firearm if you have a criminal conviction, or because you've been the president has made an executive order to release you? Does that mean it doesn't go on your record? But then doesn't it have to take a while before it's expunged off your record? Either which way, would you still be able to purchase a firearm? Not saying that everybody who has a firearm, it's legal. But, you know, I'm just asking. Y'all let me know.
Signed that an executive order for DOGE, for the Department of Government Efficiency, that Elon is supposed to run, which Elon's also had a week. Because Elon was supposed to run DOGE, and he was supposed to really like get in there of what the budgets were, of who everyone was and everything, and he was going to reshape government in the image that he saw best fit him, his businesses, and his worldview, right? And then, I don't know how he did it, but he already like did something that Trump didn't like.
Of course he did.
Like it happened quickly, because this dude was supposed to have an office that was near the Oval Office, right? And then one of Trump's, I think a cabinet member, but maybe it's an aide. I can't remember who it was, but they told Elon outright. They were like, "Hey, you're not gonna be around here."
Yo, hold up! You trying to tell me Elon and Trump has fallen out already? So what? They're not best of friends anymore. Yo, I'll go out here, bro. Y'all best go sweep the White House and everything around. Anything to do with the government, yeah. If you ain't already put in a USB chip or some and picked apart all your infrastructure that you guys got for anything to do with computers or online. Man, y'all were playing dangerous games, yeah? With a guy who's like kind of up there as one of the kings of AI. Man, this here sound like some kind of doomsday all over again. Terminator. Skynet. I'm playing these games, y'all stop playing out here, yeah? Real talking.
And in fact,
I say that and I feel hypocritical because I was looking at the Tesla phone. The new Tesla phone that came out, there watching it the other day on YouTube, and I was like, hey, yo, this looking all right, you know? So, you know what I mean? The hypocrisy of my democracy. You know, I'm only human, but yeah, I'm not going to buy it. I'm loyal to Samsung and Samsung always. I don't care. Takes a while till they fix the damn camera software to get it up to the iPhone, but Android. To hell with Tesla. But I was looking at it. It did look rather intriguing.
you're not going to talk to the president. You're going to talk to me. Which is wild. Now, don't get me wrong. That person is also like a huge MAGA Trump Republican. But still, the fact that they felt the need to wedge themselves between Trump and Elon already speaks volumes. You know, because Elon, you know, was standing behind the presidential seal. And this is how you know that a lot of people are truly out of their minds. This dude did a Nazi salute that we then debated if it was a Nazi salute for like every day after, including the day of. And
yo, I saw a meme, not a meme, like a little clip, a reveal with him doing it. And you know, I'm not even doing it on my channel. Oh hell no! But I just did the beginning part, and he did yo. And I think he was trying to mimic the movie American X, if I'm correct. You know, and I think those were the neo-Nazis. But still, it's still the same kind of a salute. You know what I mean? Like, bro, like, for real, for real? For real, for real? Y'all out here want to go and cancel Kanye West. Yeah, cancel him. Throw him to the wolves. That's what y'all wanted to do. But ain't nobody talking about this. With Elon Musk. Well, I guess it's some different kind of money. I know Kanye West got endless money. But Elon is some different kind of money. Nobody opened their mouth to say something. I was disgusted when I saw that. I was just like, oh hell no.
I don't know if you should be allowed to talk if you can't believe your eyes. Do you know what I mean? Like, there were people that were like, that was not a Nazi salute. He was throwing his heart out to the crowd. I'm like, well, he has a weird pitch. You know what I mean? I always throw my heart like this. And he did it twice to make sure you knew what it was. Which is pretty wild. One thing that I like about Elon, which is not many things, is that he always manages to quickly make the people that take up for him look super stupid. Like, really dumb. Because so many people had so many different things. They came to his defense. It was several things at once. It was like, guys, no, that was not a Nazi salute, okay? It was a Roman salute. I'm like, all right, you ever split a hair before? Apparently you don't know what that looks like. No, it wasn't a Roman salute. He has Asperger's. I know a lot of people with Asperger's. I know a lot of people that are on the spectrum. I know a lot of people with, you know, different types of autism on different parts of the spectrum. And when I've hung out with them, and they've needed to point. Or they want to show me affection. You know what they never did? Anything that looked like that. It's pretty crazy. It's like 100% fundamentally insane that people would then, I don't know. Maybe there's some law I don't know about where if you are a news publication and you say someone did a Nazi salute and they didn't actually do a Nazi salute, that they'll like sue you into oblivion and you just won't exist anymore. But I feel like when you see it, you can say it. And the fact that so many notable publications were like, he did a thing that appeared to be, none of us have ever got the leeway that Elon got that day. If there was a video of me stealing out of a store, the headline would not read, Josh Johnson is holding something that appears to not be his in the form of a Best Buy electronic. You see how that works? You see how when you see something, you can say exactly what it is and the world won't shatter? I do think genuinely that if people call out what they saw, they might feel the need to do something about it. So rather than do any of that, let's sidestep it and just be like, look, maybe it would, but I don't know. Who knows? These do. Like in what world do you not know? You saw it.
Yeah.
And you know how you know you saw it? Because Nazis saw it. And you know who was excited about it? Was Nazis. They were very excited. And if they think they saw it, then what are you doing now? If they're very sure of what it was, what do you look like being so unsure?
Yeah, facts.
No,
Dumb.
it was a Roman salute. No, he has Asperger's. No, he's just awkward and he gets excited. I'm awkward. I got a lot of problems. And you know what I've never done? But truly, that's like that's a thing that I watch happen. And then so many people are like, guys, he's anything but a Nazi. He's not a Nazi. He loves Jewish people. And then we pointed to tweets where people showed whole sick conspiracy theories against Jewish people and anti-Semitic rhetoric. And then he would comment under it, that's true. But somehow he's not a Nazi. And then for everyone who was still like on the fence or still hardcore, pro Elon, he's not a Nazi, y'all. He went ahead and did y'all a huge favor. He attended an AFD rally via satellite in Germany and told them, hey, you gotta let go of the past, y'all. We can't keep feeling bad about stuff that happens. The AFD, by the way, which is the most Naziest of the Nazi.
And this is who you're ready to hand the keys over to. Like, I'm telling y'all, Elon will burn this world down to achieve his goals and his dreams. Man's already talking about wanting to go and set up living on different planets and exploring space. Y'all can't even tell me what's at the bottom of the deepest part of the ocean. But y'all trying to venture into space. How about discovering and understanding Earth, Mother Nature? Yet start taking care of the planet we're on instead of thinking we could just scrap it and move to another world like parasites to go on that shit up. You know what I'm saying? Typical. Man, Skynet all over, bro. We gonna be...
It's like, no, you gotta be proud of your Germanness. These are all dog whistles, but you can hear it. You know, I hear you, dog. And then Trump signed this executive order that rolled back protections and acknowledgement of trans people, all right? And, I didn't do it. And the thing is, you know, if there's anything that I wish Trump would ban that had anything to do with gender, it would be gender reveals. They're getting genuinely dangerous. I watched a gender reveal where they had, because they're creative in the worst ways. Because then I watched this gender reveal where they had a blue plane and a pink plane, right? And both planes were flying at the couple, right? And then I guess whichever plane, I don't really know how it was supposed to work because both planes flying, so I don't know how we're gonna figure out what the baby is. You know what I mean? So then the pink plane veered off to the right and the blue plane kept straight. So I guess that meant it was a boy because they started celebrating, right? But they started celebrating without moving and the plane was still coming at them. And so it's not a big plane, but it's a little bigger than a toy plane and it hit the husband in the face and chopped his head all up. Like he's alive, he's fine, but you could tell it hit him hard and it he trying to still celebrate, but he's clearly concussed. He's 100% concussed. Just
Started off on camera. Yeah, not looking like no punk on camera.
Didn't even put a hand out or anything. I don't know who is like winning with this thing. You know, maybe if you're a tech billionaire, you're doing very well because he's gonna push through to like lower regulations so that you can make things as fast as possible, even if those things need some guardrails because they might be potentially dangerous, whatever. You know. And if you really hate other people, then yes, you're having a good week. But for Americans, like specifically for us, I don't know what these things do. You know? Like I don't know what rolling back what few protections there were for trans people does for me. I thought the election was about safety and eggs. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. I thought it was like everyone was talking about eggs a lot. Like everybody was like really hitting those eggs. I didn't know eggs were everybody's favorite food. Like eggs. People weren't even talking about bread. They were talking specifically about eggs. I think a lot of people went to like Kroger or...
Y'all need to let me know. What now? Where the eggs come into this one? I need to know. I heard about the cats and the dogs. And there's a few other things that had come up. But what's it with the eggs now? Like, is this new?
Walmart or something on the wrong day and they were like, hell no, eggs is my number one issue. I'm a one issue voter and eggs is that vote. And so I don't know what any of this has to do with eggs, but it doesn't seem like we're getting there. You know? Even the language of the executive order was weird. The language of the executive order was like, you have to treat and address people as the sex that they were assigned at conception, which is not how, that's not how anything works. If it's conception, dude, if it's conception, when it happens, then there's no men. There would be no dudes. This is not a plan. Like this is terrifying. Don't be wrong. There are plenty of people who are scared, and there are plenty of people who don't know what to do next. And one thing I really want people to stop doing, and I'm not anybody's boss. You can do what you want. You can probably, whatever, screw me. But we're not like cooked. Don't do that thing. Don't give up immediately. Like there's a sort of rhetoric and an idea that like, oh, we're finished and this is it, and like there's nothing that can be done. It's like guys, no. But then you see people devastated, giving up very quickly. You know, oh man, we're ruined. We're so cooked. It's like I mean, if you believe that, then we are. Like if you earnestly believe that, then yes, absolutely, that's what cooked looks like, because cooked is done, and you like your steak raw. So, yeah, I mean, like day one, we're cooked.
Well
that's also, that kind of made me furious. I'm not gonna lie. Not even like an armed resistance attacking people or something like that. Oh, we're cooked. It's like, you saw him with his pen. Like, I'm saying genuinely, people, please, if you feel anything, then you should openly speak it. You know, one of the reasons that these things spread, why negativity spreads, why like the general pessimism towards movements spread, is because people let their doubt reign over everything, all of their discussion, all of their thinking. It's like, I'm not saying that I know exactly what to do about executive orders that he passed that I don't agree with. Those things are for the courts to hopefully fight. You know?
Facts,
but I will say, for every person that I know that was affected by an executive order that he has, that I know is scared, I talk to that person. And I tell them, hey, I'm at least here. Now, I'm not the president, but I'm here for you, locally, right? That's how you build community. And that's how you keep people from being afraid. Because people don't know. They genuinely don't know that there are people that are willing to back them up. They have no idea, right? He signed an executive order that was supposed to take away birthright citizenship for people who were not already citizens, and to stop any confusion, it was going to be birthright citizenship starting now, right? Because if it was for all time, then like half of his cabinet, they wouldn't even know where to take them, put them. And then he started work on this thing that he'd been promising. And it was a thing that people didn't really think he was going to do, of like mass deportations. And so far, these are the numbers so far as I know them. Once again, I'm willing to be like fact checked. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But this is from what I've read and from what I know, this is basically what has happened. They did some ICE raids in places like Chicago, and there were some in Texas too.
I've seen meme pictures of them going around and just picking up people. And some of the guys had actual Trump for President 2025, or was it 2024 shirts on. Don't know if they thought wearing that would make them exempt, but they were getting shipped off very quickly. You know what I'm saying? Like, from what I saw, and I've seen little clips here and there.
Arizona, and like plenty of like sanctuary cities. That's ones they were like targeting initially. I'm not sure why, because you would think in the red states that vote for this thing, they would want it first. Like, that just seems like it's making nobody happy. And they rounded up some people, and they went ahead and took off for Mexico. And so then they take off from Mexico. We did it. We raided. We got some people. Gonna drop them off at Mexico because these are Mexican illegal immigrants, right? And so then FAA comes on and they're like, "Hey, don't land here." And I do think that nobody really thought that part through. I don't think people really thought. And then even when they let them land, they were like, "Don't let them off the plane. Just turn around." And they were like, "All right. Okay, we will be back though. We'll be back with more," right? Because I should be clear here that apparently, from what I've read, just deporting these 80 people cost the taxpayers $700,000. So I do not know how we're gonna save any money. I don't know how this plan is gonna work. 80. There's supposedly 11 million undocumented immigrants in the US, right? 11 million, so 3.3% of the population, right? And we started with 80.
800,000.
If I owed somebody $11 million, and I told them, "Hey, I ain't got all that right now, but I do have this 80. I'm getting my ass beat."
Okay. Facts.
That's crazy.
Facts.
80 and $700,000. I'm not in government. I'm $700,000. I'm not in government. I'm not acting like I know how to fix a situation. I'm not acting like I know what to do about where we're at. But I will say this: if I know I got to spend $700,000 to get 80,
Yeah.
this is just me. This is just me. This is just me. I'm not telling anybody else to do it. This is just me. This is what I would do if it were me and I knew $700,000 for 80.
Leave
I would
them
just
alone.
tell those 80 people, "Listen, I'm gonna break you off some.
Yeah. Leave them alone.
Start a new life somewhere else. You get 1/80th of 700,000, right? And come back in like 6 months, all right? Because that's one thing that you will not hear. As this whole thing builds out, you will not hear about people coming over illegally. They're going to act like it's not happening. They're going to act like it's all going one way. They're denying everything. They're denying all of these legal ways to become a citizen, legal ways to gain citizenship, legal ways to get a card or just to be able to work in the U.S. They canceled a lot of appointments for people who were doing the right thing, right? And so my thing is just use your logic and pay attention to what is not being said over the next few months to several years, because they're not going to want to admit that these people are coming in still, even while they're making these efforts, because it will make them look even more desperate, even less efficient.
You can't stop. It's already happening.
Because they told us before the election all of these incredible stories about how migrants were coming in. They were like, and look, I don't even know how they're doing it, but in Honduras and Guatemala, they're disassembling themselves, mailing themselves here, and then reassembling themselves, and then walking around amongst us. But now that they've supposedly shut down the border, they want us to believe that all of these illegal ways of entering have also just stopped. And that's not true. You're fighting a losing battle if it takes you $700,000 to send 80 people somewhere that says, hey, we're...
For every 80 you send, there's like 300, 400 coming in. You're fighting a losing battle. You know what I'm saying? There are other methods to go about this. This is not it.
Not, you know what I mean?
Neglecting people's human rights and stuff.
That's one of the craziest things too. Is a deeply ironic thing that they did all this, sent the people over, and then the other countries were like, "Hey, those are American immigrants." No, that's crazy.
We don't want them here.
No, and I think a lot of it. I think a lot of the like tactics that have been taken and some of the logic that's been used on the news and everything is just is genuinely like fear based. It's to like rile you up. It's to make you feel afraid and everything. And
moral panic.
You know, even in the executive orders, like 100 executive orders or so, and so many of them don't really say anything. They don't really do anything. You just sort of make a show of signing it. You know, because I'll be honest with you, I saw some of the raids that were taking place and some of the statements that people made and how they're taking things that were normally off the table, they're putting them back on so they can come in your church, they can come in your school. People are scared to go to places that felt safe and everything. And I will say I don't know exactly what to do. I'm not acting like I have any answers. I just don't know how possibly this is the road, like this is the tack to take, you know? Like people will say things like, "Oh, they don't pay any taxes." It's like, don't they eat? Then didn't they pay the sales tax? Didn't they pay? And by the way, this not paying taxes thing, they get paid under the table by Americans, by the way. There's no job that they have that an American doesn't give them. And pay them under the table in cash and probably pay them a little less than minimum wage. Probably pay them in even numbers.
Fact.
So what?
Man says an even number.
What money? What money could you possibly stand to gain? And I'm not saying the money doesn't exist, that it's not there, and that there shouldn't be a path to legal citizenship so that they can pay all the taxes that we all pay. I'm just saying that, like, are they each owing more than like $700,000 when you put 80 of them together?
You don't owe the IRS any money. I like that, for real though. They ain't owing that much money, but we spending that much money to send them back. Nah, this method ain't working. Real talking. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure there are other ways a bunch of people can sit down and come up to combat this kind of situation. But who are we to speak? Guys, let me know what you think about these executive orders. If you want to see me do any other comedy, hit me down in the comments. Like, share, definitely subscribe because that really helps me out. And thank you for tuning in. I'll see you guys on the next one. Stay blessed. Be safe.